Well, away from matters of medical and others. Now, what I'm holding on in my hand is a mobile phone, and well, actually, a couple of them. And 10, 15 years ago, this would most probably have been a Nokia phone of one kind or another. There was a multitude of them, most popular of which, of course, were the 3300 and the 1100, which broke records in sales right across the world. Then, of course, the brand disappeared from the shelves, disappeared from, well, our homes, our pockets. Well, the brand is set to make a comeback here in Kenya today. And this being Throwback Thursday, we have in studio for you two gentlemen to explain just how that is expected to happen. Justin Maya, Vice President for Sub-Saharan Africa for Nokia. And Gofa Ogembo, he is a Senior Business Manager at Nokia as well. Karibuni sana to both of you.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Now, a lot of people, of course, will wonder, Justin, just to begin with you. So what happened? A bit of background. It's Throwback Thursday. So what happened to Nokia, and how come you're here today again?
Well, Peter, Nokia has actually been alive. It hasn't left. It hasn't been distant. We've had feature phones around in the market.
Yes.
Globally and here in Kenya. And we've got good market share with our feature phone business. But we are here today and tonight, this evening, to rewrite the next chapter of Nokia phones,
yes.
Not only here in Kenya, but in East Africa and on the continent. And we are so excited. We'll be announcing our smartphone lineup,
yes.
the Nokia 3, the Nokia 5, and the Nokia 6. And then we have a bit of a modern classic in the 3310 is making a return as well.
So let's break it down literally, get down to the nitty-gritty for our consumers. Not many people out there even understand what the difference is between a feature phone and a smartphone. So when you say you still have been here for the feature phone market, what exactly is the difference between these two?
Well, basically a feature phone, you're not going to have apps on it, or it's going to be limited connectivity. That would be a feature phone, and a smartphone is when you have your device and you have access to an app store and you interact with applications and you download those. That's pretty much the simple difference.
Gofa, let me come to you. So this is what we call the Mulika Mwizi phone in Kenyan parlance, right?
Nokia 105.
Yes, and with your local knowledge of this market, what do you think this is going to do for the market, what we're doing here today?
Yeah, like you mentioned, I think Nokia has a legacy of durability, quality, and just easy, simple to use device. And we've not been in the smartphone segment for a while.
Yes.
And as you know, Android commands almost 82% of the market. So we are so excited that we're going to come back and play a big role in that. And the devices, the phones that you're going to be launching today, we're so much excited about. Yeah.
So statistics from the Communications Authority of Kenya see about, 25 million mobile phone connections in Kenya, a population of about maybe 40 million. Of those, if we said maybe even, well, half of that would have access to mobile phones. There's still a huge, huge untapped market out there, especially in areas outside of urban areas where people are still working to get into the phone, well, to literally be able to start to own a mobile phone. Do you think this launch is going to go anyway into enabling that kind of person on a mobile phone?
Yes, definitely. Actually, if you look at smartphones in Kenya,
yes,
it's already way over 60%. And the price points at which you are coming, it's about bringing very high quality at much lower price points, given the partnerships that we have with the Foxconn and etc. So we're very much confident that we'll be able to upgrade some from feature phones to smartphones, and then also enable them to enjoy some of the fantastic features from Nokia at lower price points.
Coming back to you, Justin, we've seen Chinese brands make huge inroads into Africa. We have the likes of, well, Infinix. We have the likes of Oppo. We have we'd say the 5 largest Chinese brands, and all over the market. They're here in a very big way. Do you think Nokia will be able to hold their own and maybe even take our market share from these guys?
We truly do believe that. HME Global, we have an aspiration to be a leading and global smartphone player. And for us to do that, we have to win on this continent. And we are extremely excited. Nokia as a brand has had such a a positive impact on the lives across consumers and fans in Africa. And the feedback that we've been given all over the world has been so positive, and there's so much excitement.
Yes.
And when we can take the Nokia brand and couple that with Android, the best and largest OS in smartphones,
yes,
and it's a pure version of Android we are bringing to our consumers.
So you're not coming up with anything based on the Android platform. It's just, for example, maybe it's, at this point it's Nougat 7 point something.
That's right. We really want to take what Android wanted their OS to be, and we've taken that pure version of Android, and that's what we are using. We are not layering any skins or our own UI on that, and that gives us a few key benefits.
Yes.
A couple would be that when a consumer turns on their phone, they're not seeing multiple apps that they never use, or chew their data, chew their storage, even choose their battery. It's literally a clean version, and the consumer decides what apps they want.
This actually also enables consumers access a huge developer community that is putting up apps every day that they can then go to one store and find. Do you think this makes a difference for the user experience?
Definitely. I think on the user experience, what we want to say is that our platform of Nokia and the Android OS is that it's pure, secure, and always up to date. And having a pure version of Android allows the security updates that Google pushes every single month to be brought down immediately onto the consumer's devices. We don't have to make any changes in the background, and that really makes us stand out from the rest of our competitors.
Coming to you, Gopher, especially the fact that it has been said, especially in the communications sector, that Kenyan consumers have their own peculiarities. Do you think what you're bringing to the table will help sate some of those needs, especially being in situations where at one point you might be in the middle of Nairobi with access to good Wi-Fi, good electricity, drive 30 minutes down the road, no power, you have to resort to other ways of charging your phones and that sort of thing?
So like Justin said, when we talk about pure Android, that means that the battery life is enhanced on the device. So your mobility is also enhanced. You're able to use your phone for much longer duration. We know that the millennials now, they get a lot of their content from their mobile phone. So it's very important that battery life for them is key. And if you talk about some of the models that we're launching today, some of the feature phone that we're launching today, you're talking about 22 hours battery life and up to a month standby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ruggedness. The fact of the matter is that we Kenyans tend to beat up our phones quite a bit.
Yes.
They fall on the floors. You might be riding around on the bumpy roads. Stuff happens to it. Will the body be able to handle that sort of treatment, especially bearing in mind the fact that some of the Nokias of old were really cast to last. Some of them are still around.
Yeah. So thanks for that, because those are some of the legacies that HMD is going to carry forward. And if you look at the range that we are launching today, they've all been crafted from a block of aluminium. You know, most devices will try and connect this part and this part. This has been crafted from one single block of aluminium, and then you place the engine on top. So that helps in terms of shock resistance. If you look at the type of glass that we're using, again, Gorilla 5, very solid glass, so also reduces the chances of the glass breaking. Yeah.
Well, Justin, I had an old Nokia N8 which I bought from scratch, and the thing lasted decades. Still there, although, of course, lots of the apps now supported. But the fact of the matter is a lot of people did get attached to what they had back then as phones. Do you think that sort of legacy has and can be carried over to the products that you're putting out today so that they remain dear to the hearts of consumers?
Definitely, Peter. I think, as Gopher said, there's such a connection between Nokia and the fans here in Kenya, and we need to, and we will, our commitment is for the quality of the devices. We know how important that is. We know the durability, the ease of use. And yes, there are consumers still today who carry around a Nokia and they have such a connection with that phone. And I think once the consumers get that device in their hand, they will realize immediately this is Nokia quality running the best operating system out there. So.
Finally, let's talk about distribution. The fact that Kenya is a multiplicity of different regions, places, and people will want to get their hands on these things. Yeah. What's the availability going to be? Where can people find them?
So right now, the phones are available in the market. Yes. The Nokia 5, Nokia 3, Nokia 6, and the 3310. Yes. Our distributor, Midcom, is already selling the product into the market. We've partnered with Safaricom. They actually started selling them yesterday, or not today. So they also have the full range, so you can get them in any of their stores across the country, and also our retail network also across the country. Yeah.
And my final question for you, Justin, the entire African continent, of course, needs outreach in this sort of way for this thing. So I assume that you're not launching just in Kenya, but a few other places. What's the outlook for the rest of the African continent? I know you're big in South Africa.
Yes, we've actually just launched in South Africa. On Tuesday, I was in Lagos and we launched in Nigeria. We are here this week, and later we'll be launching in Ghana. But we really see Nokia as a brand for all. It's not an exclusive or for a niche of consumers. And we try to take the approach where we wanted to have devices for everybody at similar times. And I think we've done a really good job in doing that on this continent.
Well, indeed, thank you very much, both of you. Of course, asking our viewers to look out for that launch later on in the day. The fact that it being Throwback Thursday and Nokia again coming in a big way into the market to enable Kenyans begin to enjoy the services that they had grown used to just about a decade ago, I know. So thank you both for taking the time to talk to us here today.